And now we'll hear from Andy's niece, Macie.
I haven't gotten through one speech yet, so I certainly won't get through mine. I'm Andy's favorite niece, as you like to refer to me as, where for the beginning of my life I thought I really truly was just great enough to be the favorite. And over the past couple of years we became modern day pen pals because he was spending more and more time on the internet, and soon he became my blog's biggest and maybe only fan, and we would share these emails back and forth, and we would talk about the 3 knee surgeries I had gone through, his own pain, the golden retriever I babysat, politics, and anything else we felt was really worthy of conversation. And when I started struggling with this, I looked back at one of his messages. Sorry. I told him that I was worried and I didn't have the words to express myself. And this is what he wrote to me. Macie B doesn't have the words to express herself. This shit is no big deal. It's of little or no merit. It's one of those things where we have to do something, anything, so we make a motion, no matter how small or insignificant. But sometimes the smallest, most insignificant of motions, like one from a beautiful small girl who never has trouble expressing herself, for once, out of love, can't express herself, and that in itself says everything. So I figured if not having any words meant something to him, the least I could do was string a few together today to celebrate him. I've always been appreciative of the closeness of my family. My Uncle Andy pushed me to limits from the time I was a little girl, and I soon understood that he was kind of the bonded antithesis of who I was. Where I was anxious, fearful, and overly vocal, he was cool as a cucumber, fearless, and perfectly timed in his delivery of words. He swam in freezing cold temperatures with nothing more than a Speedo on, while I clawed desperately through junior lifeguards just so I could sit on the sand and never touch the water. Sharks, snakes, and alligators have decorated my nightmares for years on end, but those were the same creatures who Uncle Andy danced with under the water. What was small and insignificant to him was ridiculously challenging, scary, and extraordinary to me. Have you ever seen a shark? I asked him one summer while we were pounding the abalone he had caught hours earlier. Yeah, saw a couple today, he answered casually. Did it chase you? I asked, imagining the jawsy animal tempting Uncle Andy's face while he was venturing down underwater. No, I chased one for a little bit though. Of course he did. That's Uncle Andy. He doesn't chase adventure for sake of retelling the stories. He just lives life as if the scary and unfair parts are commas and slight pauses, not periods or finales. He gets it done, carries an extra load, shoulders the pain, and makes you laugh along the way. Things were always a medley of make-believe and magic, but his astounding willingness to bring them into the realest parts of life iterated them as normal. When Dylan came along, my life shifted from being the youngest to finally seeing the youngest childhood unfold. My first summer spent at a memorable age, Uncle Andy told my brother and I that we were going to accompany Dylan on a treasure hunt. At the time, I thought being part of these adventures with my baby cousin meant being on the adult side of things. My 5-year age gap with Dylan meant that I was, of course, wiser and more aware of what was real and what wasn't. In hindsight, however, that's never what it was about. The treasure hunt was really just that, a treasure hunt. We popped open that bottle with the map inside, helped Dylan get fully dressed in pirate gear, and we followed every step, every direction, and every measurement. Not once did Uncle Andy whisper away the magic. To this day, nothing has felt more majestic than our shovels hitting the tin full of pennies, pearls, and other treasures, and seeing the look on Dylan's eye-patched face. It wasn't about tricking or creating make-believe for Dylan, or for any of us. It was about approaching what others may write off as impossible or unbelievable with the same gusto as anything else. That's what Uncle Andy gave to our family, to everyone. He took my brother for his first whitewater kayak excursion. He invited my dad along for a routine bike ride that ended up being more treacherous than any other he's seen. He endearingly had my mom hugging everyone's ankles from the floor of the boat that he tipped just enough to scare her without ever putting anyone in any real danger. His account of early love with my aunt had stories laced with getting lost, camping mishaps, and impromptu marriage proposals. He taught Dylan to hunt for treasures and befriend leprechauns, and he convinced me that jumping in the water would always be worth the adventure. There is no doubt in my mind that he bestowed more courage upon each of us than we could ever have summoned without him. One of the last messages that Uncle Andy wrote to me balanced his humor, love, and bravado perfectly. It said simply this: Dear Macie, life can throw a lot of crap at you, and unfortunately, too much sticks. You are the coolest niece I could ever hope to have, and the cutest. It is really, really hard to outshine a handsome golden retriever, but you do. Just stop scarring up your knees. That's uncute. Love, Uncle Andy. I didn't come up with the right response at the time, so I did today. Dear Uncle Andy, life isn't the same for any of us. You are the coolest uncle I could ever hope to have, and the bravest. It is really, really hard to try and live up to your courage, but maybe we can all start to catch our own fish. Befriend a leprechaun who lives in the tree down the road. Sit our butt in an inner tube instead of on the sand. Chase sharks, tip the boat, pedal an extra mile, and jump into the water even when it's freezing cold. I know you'll keep us safe like you always have. We won't tell our story, we'll live it. And we'll hope that it will unfold as touching and as beautifully as yours continues to do. Love, your favorite niece.